Han spelade barken av hårdaste trä. Han spelade barken.
Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Jonah MacTavish-Slaton, and today I want to discuss a scholarly research writing that I'm doing for a dissertation thesis device. The title of the work is, as on the screen, called Evidence of Norse Culture, Tradition, and Language in the West of Scotland, How It Shaped the Old Kingdom, the Riata, and the Hebrides. I want to hit on 18 key points, and those 18 key points perhaps not be quite in this order, but it's the generalized framework of suggestion. The first one is the political and cultural landscape of Western Scotland before the Viking Age. So this is very important to understand the region of the Hebrides and the west coast of Scotland, and the Pictish Gaelic influence of the language and culture that's already there. Going from there, once we understand this political and cultural landscape, then we could go on into the arrival of the Norse themselves, this earliest arrival period, and then settlement after conquest. This third step would be based on just how deep of a conquest was there, and how completely did this Pictish Scottish area, how much of it was under the influence of the Norse after this settlement period. Fourth is what Norse traditions are still followed today. Is there anything left over in the Hebrides and in Scotland, particularly the area of West Scotland, that has Norse traditional identity? Fifth, what Norse words have came into use in Scotland? And this has been covered by many before, but I think in the process of this thesis, it will help us understand the impact and influence of the Norse people and their culture in this area. Following into that would be what place names have Norse names. So, such as the Isle of Skye, where approximately 75%, maybe even more, place names are of Norse origin. Number 7, historical writings and annals of the period. So there's a lot of writing, both from Ireland, the Icelandic sagas, the annals of Ireland, and even Scottish writing that has a lot of key insight to this period. 8th is the genetic impact on the native Scots. So this is taking a look at the people that would have been alive in this period from the late 8th century up through the 12th century, and comparing it to the native Scots today and their descendants. Number 9, shipbuilding. A lot of people that were in this area, the Hebrides, especially Argyll in Scotland, were ship users. They were fishermen and used the sea as one of their main economic aspects of their life. So shipbuilding would be very, very important, and evidence of shipbuilding in several different places in this area to the Norse, and what that brought into this area to the native Scots. 10 is burial practices. So one of the things is finding what was the traditional Gaelic burial practice before the Norse arrived, and then how did that transition into what we see as more of a Norse pagan style burial, and then reverting back to more of a Gaelic style with Christianity, and you'd see this infusion of Norse now longstead into the burial practice. 11 is examination of Norse artifacts and archaeological discoveries. This is looking at what we have found left in the archaeological finds, and examining them and seeing how this connects both of these cultures, the Norse and the Gaelic culture, which would come together. 12 would be the adoption of Christianity, and now for the most part this area had left Celtic paganism and became Christian, but now it reverted back to paganism, this time in the sense of Norse paganism, and now it's swung back around back to Celtic Christianity, but you will see there is a Norse influence. 13 is development of the Norse Gaelic culture itself. So this is This is the fruition of these people assimilating, both genetically, culturally, religiously, and linguistically. 14 is the assimilation at a Gaelic society. So this Norse, as the Norse become more Gaelic sized and they become Norse Gaelic, they actually would swing into more of a Gaelic society to form these Norse Gael clans. 16 is between the kingdom of the Isles to Summerland. So this is the epicenter of these Norse Gaelic people, and this would be what we explain in number 15, Norse Gael clans, would be this is where they would grow, this is where they would come out of. 17 would be the rise of the Galaglass. This is the after effect. This is the clan system infusion, Norse and Gaelic culture together. And then the end of the Norse Gael era, as I propose, would be the rise of Robert the Bruce and the Scottish Wars for Independence. It wouldn't truly be the end of the Norse Gael culture, for example, but it would be the end of the Norse Gael era, as many of these clans would support Edward the Bruce, Robert's brother, and the claimant of the throne of Ireland, and would lead to these Galaglass and many people, these mercenaries going to Ireland. But it would usher in a new era, and an era where, from the time of the Kingdom of Riata all the way through the King of the Picts, through the Kingdom of Alba, all the way up into this reunified Kingdom of Scotland, where the Kingdom of the Isles, this is the homeland of the Norse Gaels in Scotland, have remained very much autonomous. Now it's kind of the end of the era, because for the first time in history, a true king of Scotland, a true monarchies of Scotland would have almost complete control of it. Not to say that they weren't still very much people outside the grips of the king in the monarchy of Scotland, but you would see such as the house, the MacDonalds and the Stuarts, and then later the Campbells give rise to great power. So evidence of Norse culture, tradition, language in the west of Scotland, how it shaped the old kingdom of Riata and the Hebrides, and how it developed into this Norse Gaelic culture. This is the whole topic of this thesis is how these changes came into place from the earliest arrival of the Norse down through the end of what I would call the Norse Gael era, with the rise of the House of Stuart through Robert the Bruce's lineage. So there's going to be a lot more to come with this. I've been studying this for many of years, and want to actually turn this into more of a scholarly research and a dissertation for a thesis into something that I've always prided myself on, trying to gain more knowledge and learn more, and have a better understanding and in-depth research to a time period that doesn't get as much fanfare or as much research as the other eras of the Norse and the Viking Age. So thank you for watching. I'm Jonah MacTavish-Slaton. Until next time, keep learning history.